to Extra Butter. If you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Don't tell that to Tiffany Haddish or Melissa McCarthy. We'll be talking to them about their 70s era thriller, comedy, dramedy, whatever. Scary stories based on the best-selling children's book, only way more scary. We'll be talking about Guillermo del Toro's latest, and Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Swiper, stop swiping. Yeah, that and more coming up on this edition of Extra Butter.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back, you guys.
What's
up? Extra Butter roll call.
E. Clark in the house.
Where do we find you?
E. Clark Comedy on Instagram.
There you go.
Heather Brent, Heather_Brent on Instagram.
And
Hey, Big Al Sams. You can find me at Big Al Sams.
questions, complaints, concerns, as always, right there at TV Marcus Allen. Nobody's complaining about Hobbs and Shaw.
No.
I mean, most people said, man, why didn't you tell me how good that movie was? I told you how good that movie was. From the moment you saw that trailer, did you not know you were going to be first in line to buy a ticket or Fandango away?
Oh, I knew.
I was ready. Nothing but testosterone-fueled action all the way through. I loved it.
E, when are we going to say we've had enough Fast and Furious movies?
I don't think we're gonna say it, man.
Right?
I mean, adrenaline rush keeps you living like another 5 years, I think.
Exactly.
Exactly, and I think, you know, you always see that action star when they've made their last movie. I've never seen any member of the Fast and Furious cast that I thought was at the end of it. They still got at least 5 more movies left in them.
Exactly.
All
I
right?
just like how excited you are when you leave the movie. Like, you go in excited to see the movie, but when you leave, you're just pumped.
Right, and did you laugh a little bit?
I laughed a little bit, but I was really fired up with the Idris Elba part. Like, I'm Black Superman. I stood up in the theater like, yeah! And then, sorry, security. I'm sorry. I'll see you later.
Sorry.
I stood up and shouted the same thing. They said, you're really not the guy that should be, let somebody else champion the car. Exactly. So anyway, I sat down with Dwayne Johnson and the aforementioned Jason Statham to talk about it. Take a look.
I've waited my entire career to have an action sequence like this. And again, you know, look, I came up in the world of pro wrestling in a very crazy world. I was born into this industry of professional wrestling where there's no guns or weapons or anything like that. And you just learn at a very early age how to amateur wrestle, then how to apply shoot wrestling. And then you go out and you have your matches that, yes, are scripted, but, you know, they're still very primal in a way. And you're still using your hands and you're still grabbing and you're still suplexing and you're doing these things. And I've applied a few of those moves in my movies in the past, but generally there's a weapon involved and things like that. But this case, I've waited a career to have this and very, very happy with the way it turned out.
Shaw is a quintessentially British guy that dresses in Savile Row threads. You'd think he'd drive something slick made out of the UK. Why not? So, out came the request, and finally, they got me in a McLaren. I've been waiting for that.
I love their chemistry or anti-chemistry together. You know, I can tell you some behind the scenes making of this movie that people probably don't want you to know. Do you know this movie was originally designed, Hobbs and Shaw was originally designed to be reworked. It wasn't going to be called Hobbs and Shaw, but it was going to be Vin Diesel and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Really?
But it turns out they really hate each other.
Yeah.
Can I say that? All right, I'm saying it. All right.
It's real.
Sorry, for a moment I thought there's no
I didn't
room
know
for
that.
truth in television, but that's really what's going on. So they retooled the whole movie, and there you have Hobbs and Shaw, and didn't it work out great?
It's perfect. I mean, the fight scenes are better, I would think, with Jason Statham and with The Rock than with Vin Diesel.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Jason Statham is like Chuck Norris on steroids.
Agreed. It
Yes,
works out
yes,
great.
yes.
Am I the only one that kind of, when you think about the whole Fast and Furious franchise, there's a moment where you take a little pause to remember Paul Walker,
Yes.
what could have
All
been,
the
should have
time.
been.
All the time.
Yeah, man.
I had the pleasure of going to set after set with him and junket after junket to sit down with him, and I remember some of those times. Take a look.
And you know what? My father was a sewer contractor. You want to talk about a tough job? Go install a leach line. And I grew up I lived in Summanahunga for a long time, and I'm digging through rock more than I am dirt. And, you go home all blistered up and your back sore, and that's real work. Manual labor like this, yeah, sometimes it's taxing. Physically, it can be demanding, but it's a pretty easy job.
Do you know how refreshing it is to hear an actor say that? Do you know how many actors,
Everybody knows that.
they whine or try to build up what they did, but bottom line is dig a ditch for a whole day.
Yeah, man, that's hard. That's hard work. Manual labor is hard work, And there's times where maybe it's taxing, mentally, but You know, if you come in prepared and you know what you need to do and you just do your job, you know, you can get it done. The emotion, I mean, I've done projects where, you know, they're really emotional or, you know, really intense, and emotionally those days are really draining, you know, and you go home, you go to sleep, you wake up the next day, and yeah, maybe you're still somewhat tired, but it's a pretty posh job. It's a fun job.
Super good dude, said every day that he never considered, he would never complain about being on set because he said, look, my dad dug ditches for a living. I'm never gonna complain about an 18-hour day making movies.
Wow. Wow.
R.I.P. Paul Walker. All right, coming up in a moment, who's looking forward to The Kitchen?
Yes.
What Once Upon a Time in Hollywood did to 1969, this movie does to 1972. We'll go back in the day to talk about the movie you need to see, The Kitchen, next. Yeah, we're hanging out with the condiments because we're about to talk about The Kitchen. Welcome back to Extra Butter.
Yes.
What's up? How do we tell people about The Kitchen?
Oh, God.
Gritty, yes.
Gritty.
Dark.
Yes.
Funny too.
Yes, it's a dark comedy, but I think it leans more towards the comedy. It's funny, more funny than it is dark.
Yeah. I mean, I was a little bit worried because I thought Melissa McCarthy was going to be very, very serious. But
Right.
She had a little dark edge to her. That's what I looked at, the dark edge to Melissa McCarthy.
And I love that. I think people are at their best. Comedians are at their best when they lean into the more serious stuff. And
Yeah.
so Tiffany Haddish playing it this way and Melissa McCarthy playing it this way. You have some history with Tiffany Haddish. You
Sure.
were on the same stage.
Yes, opened up for Tiffany Haddish at the Punchline, and her story of coming from Los Angeles, South Central, and making it big is perfect for her being cast in this movie because she knows what it takes to like get gritty and to make it.
When she started blowing up, how excited were you for her? Someone that you knew deserved
I
it.
couldn't believe it. I was like, oh man, we were just hanging out the other day, and now I see her at the Met Gala, you know,
Right,
and all these other
right,
places.
right.
It's amazing.
All right, and I think she teams well with Melissa McCarthy. It's the story of the wives of some mobsters who keep the family business alive. We talked to them. Take a look.
I wish I could. I'm not going to tell them what we were talking about behind the scenes, but that was very funny. Funny moment.
Thank you.
I will tell you this. I walked into the room. I've never seen two more beautiful women in my life, and yet
Stop
still a
it.
team of experts come in and feel like they got to do stuff to you. Why is that?
Never enough.
Never enough.
Never beautiful enough.
Well, I walk in like I slept on the street.
I tear my own clothes off. There's just another dress underneath it.
Another option.
Another great option. Acting's hard.
Whatever works for you. Nice to see both of you.
Thank
Awesome
you.
work in this.
Thank you.
I parallel all three of the main characters in this movie to my experience with my wife. There's a lot of love and fear going on all at the same time. What was in it for you? When you saw the script, the project, what made you two want to jump aboard?
I mean, for me, honestly, the first thing before I read it was that Melissa and Tiffany were already attached. So the idea of working with them on anything was extremely exciting. Individually and then together was sort of like, I couldn't believe they wanted me to do it. And then I was just like, God, I hope the script is good. God, I hope the script is good. And it was. And so Andrea had written an incredible script. So for me, it was a bit of a no-brainer.
Melissa, for you, the first act of this movie, you have this sustained worry on your face the entire movie, that part of the movie.
Well, and I think that's part of what drew me to Kathy, the character I play. I liked how real it was. I liked that it was a mom of two that was just really worried about paying the rent, getting bills done, is her husband safe? And I liked the progression and how real it was and the struggle. And I love a complicated character. I love a character that is doing all the wrong things, and yet you find yourself almost rooting for her. I think that takes really, really great writing to make that balance.
Tiffany and Melissa make this movie. I don't know that it would be as successful if not for these two.
I can't see anyone else playing those
Right.
roles or playing them together, you know, in that movie.
All right,
So,
I know the 70s before your time, but how do you feel like this representation of the 70s is?
perfect.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Big Al, were you born in the 70s?
You know, I was born in the 70s. I ain't scared to say that. But you know what? New York is just that way. It's rough and rugged.
Exactly.
And this played perfectly.
This is not the New York that you see in Sex and the City. This is the New York you
No.
see in Taxi Driver.
Exactly.
Before
exactly.
gentrification. Before Starbucks.
Right.
Starbucks, New York.
There are some horrible things about gentrification. However, this might be the cleaner side of gentrification. All right, go see it at your own risk. There are some gritty parts, but some funny parts too. Speaking of at your own risk, the children's book, now a major motion picture, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. We'll be talking with the stars of that, and Dora, the Explorer, Dora and the City of Gold, now a major motion picture. We'll be talking with that cast and taking you behind the scenes, and a special winner that got to hang out with them too, next. Welcome back. It is Action Butters, summertime.
yes,
Time to talk
yes.
about the last few movies and the fleeting moments of summer that we have left. Scary stories to tell in the dark. Who better to bring this movie to life than
Guillermo del Toro.
Exactly. He does creatures very well, and at
Yeah.
the end of the day, this is a crazy, creepy, haunted, creepy thing house movie, right?
Basically,
Besides on creepy.
Right. You have spent time in Northern California, so it's set in.
Mill Valley. Mill Valley is like, if you've ever been there at nighttime, it is kind of creepy. So
my
there's
God,
trees that are like,
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
The population not as dense, so the darkness is a little bit darker in Mill Valley, right?
Yeah.
All right, we went behind the scenes with the cast and crew. Take a look.
The beauty of the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark books is that they have the simplicity of a campfire tale.
Tell me a story. They're so terrifying, and they're super timeless as well.
They span 2-3 generations. This is what scared me when I was a kid, and it's still very entertaining.
You shouldn't have taken the book. It's also amassed this sort of cult following. It's really exciting to be able to show that and bring it to life.
Okay, what if what happens in the book is exactly what's happened for real? Oh my God, Chuck.
There you go, the cast and crew of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I liked the movie, didn't love the movie. Sometimes there's a reason they put out movies this time in the summer where they kind of say, oh, here, take this too.
Right, right. You know me. I have a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
It's tax write-off season. They got to drop those movies off somewhere.
Dump it out.
Dump it out.
Q3.
I'll watch it. Didn't love it, but it's all right.
Now, you have children. Are they aware of the book series? Did they mean anything to them?
And they're not watching that yet.
All right.
I still get scared off of children's scary stories. Okay,
All right,
so I watch
yeah.
it like this. All right.
It's not a bad movie, but maybe you wait and you rent this movie. I'll tell you a movie that explodes on the big screen in a way you need to see. That's Dora and the Lost City of Gold. I know your kids are into Dora.
Wait, I grew up watching Dora the cartoon, so I'm into Dora.
How old am I?
my God.
Okay, yeah. So Al, did you grow up watching Dora?
I remember watching Dora back in the day.
E, does this mean anything to you? Swiper, quit swiping.
I have a daughter, so this right here means everything. So we're gonna go and check out Dora.
All right, speaking of having a daughter, so the studio decided to fly people in from all over the world to get to be a part of the red carpet experience. I have one such round of winners. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Nelson family. Say hi.
Hey!
Nelson family, roll call.
I'm Christy. I'm Frank. Who are you?
Hey, Avery. So you guys got to walk down the red carpet, talk about what you saw, who you saw, and how that went down.
It was pretty amazing. I think she had a blast. We just kind of caught a glimpse of a couple of celebrities. Unfortunately, we didn't get to take any pictures, but what an amazing experience.
You know, she said exactly what I said the first time I was on the red carpet. What are you saying, Avery?
She just got done watching SpongeBob.
Oh, fantastic.
What did you think of it?
My favorite part was the rock climbing and crossing that bridge and watching the movie.
They had a really cool little obstacle course for the kids, so she got to do all kinds of fun stuff. Play in a container with crocodiles and climb a rope and cross a bridge. So it was like Dora the Explorer adventures.
So we treated you nice. You had a good time in Los Angeles.
Yes, we did. It was amazing.
It was great. We had a good time.
Awesome. Well, the winning keeps on going. Big Al says you guys can stay in his place anytime you're back in town, okay?
Absolutely, sure.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Hey, Avery, who do you want to be when you grow up?
Dora.
Awesome. You can pretend to be Dora anytime. Al does it all the time as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So do I. I'm not lying. All right, guys. Hey, congratulations. Thanks for being a part of our show today.
All right, thank you very much.
Bye, guys.
Yes.
All right, thanks for hanging out. So, what are your thoughts of Dora and the Lost City of Gold? I'm going to start with you because you have appropriate age kids to go see this movie. It's good, right?
It's good. Adventure packed. The acting is good. My kids will love it. So.
You know, I was about to make a snarky joke about we need to have more children's movies with Danny Trejo, but then I remembered Danny Trejo was in all the Spy Kids movies, so I guess he started out doing this, right? Yeah, so you got a star-studded cast. You've got Benicio del Toro, like I said, Danny Trejo.
Just the storyline is great too. It's super cute for the kids. I say take them hands down.
Yeah, it's simple. It's nothing too heavy, and for a movie that could be kind of leaning towards the scary, I thought it toed the line really nicely.
Yep.
All right. You have a daughter?
I have a daughter. I have a 5-year-old. So, I mean, this is perfect. I mean, just to see a kid that's doing something that's brave and building confidence, this is perfect film.
And also, we always talk about lady power and having little ladies around the house. We want to show them that they can take charge, they can conquer, they can find the city of gold.
Yes.
Yep.
All right?
You know, I don't have kids of my own, so I looked very creepy sitting in the theater watching the movie. But after seen the movie, I liked it. I thought it was great. I think it was a cute movie. I liked it.
Truth be told, Al and I were the two middle-aged guys sitting in the theater pretty much by ourselves watching the movie.
Yeah.
There you go. But strength in numbers. Yeah, go see it in theaters, but probably when it comes out on home video, we're going to want to have it so we can stream it and watch it over and over and over again, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
All right. Speaking of something to watch with the kids will love Curse of La Llorona. Not really. Keep them far away from this, but we're talking about that next. Summertime, summertime. Hey, welcome back. It is the summertime edition of Extra Butter. It's not any different than all the others, except that some of us are more hot and sweaty, like me right here, right now. Sorry about all the grease. In the summertime, the bacon just comes through my forehead. I don't know why.
It's all bad.
All right, you guys, a movie that would be great to watch on a date night because you want people to cling to you a little bit tighter would be Curse of La Llorona, which means...
Curse of the Weeping Woman.
I did interviews for the film. I didn't even know that till now. Thanks for filling us in. And by Weeping Woman it is, because this is a lady who loses her children for reasons that you'll have to see when you see the movie. Right. And then according to the lore, she goes back and haunts any other kids. If they're misbehaving, she steals those children for her own.
I'm going to use this movie against my kids.
Yeah, are you using it as a...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's in the Latin culture, they use that all the time. They say, you better behave or La Llorona is going to come get you in the middle of the night. I don't want to tell you how to parent Eve, but maybe this is something you could use at home.
We had something like this growing up in Oakland also. It was called Billy Doo.
Yeah.
Billy Doo. This is just the Latin version.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Make that movie. I think there's another movie in there. In the meantime, we went behind the scenes on the Warner Brothers lot to sit down with this cast. Take a look.
Let's get through this. I'm a little creeped out right now.
Oh, you
Gotta be
are.
honest with you. I mean, I know I'm on a lot. Everything's artificial. There's a fake La Llorona behind you, yet still, I'm pretty sure something's going to jump out.
Because La Llorona is real.
And someone told me you actually encountered her.
Yes,
Is this true?
a couple times. But yeah, La
How
Llorona
so?
is very real. You know, ever since we're very little in the Hispanic culture, they tell you that you have to behave or La Llorona will come get you.
Right.
And she doesn't stop when you grow older or if you leave your country, she comes with you. So, and you can ask our grandparents, people have seen her, heard her, touched her. There have been sightings of children that have gone missing.
Disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are YouTube videos of her, sightings of her.
So she's definitely very real.
I'm so glad I saw this movie before I heard that story.
Yeah.
I'm super creeped out. Now, you watched it with an audience, and someone actually kicked your chair, shouting at your character.
I did. Somebody. There's a point where La Llorona and I are fighting, and the guy behind me was so into the movie, I could hear him the whole time talking out loud, and he kicked my chair as loud, because I think as a reflex, and just yelled to the screen, "Get it, girl!" And he was yelling at me on the screen, but I don't think he realized he was actually kicking me in the seat, because we were sort of seated in a dark theater.
I like this movie a lot. It weaves into the Conjuring series in ways that you're going to have to see when you see the movie. Right. I don't think it's the strongest of the Conjuring series, but there is a formula to the Conjuring movies. Every 8 to 10 minutes, you get a good pop-out scare, and I don't think this movie disappoints in that way, right?
True to form, man.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I don't know. All scary movies scare me, but this one scared me a little extra, so.
I know, with the whole mom thing and the kid thing, there are definitely some things that'll ring home.
Hey, this right here, I mean, this is a parenting tool, okay?
La Llorona's gonna get you with her chocolate, too.
Oh my God. It's a great rental, but please keep the kids far, far away. Speaking of kids, look, Heather's son named
Grayson.
He's right over there, checking out something. Uh-oh. Is Grayson into Pikachu? Hey, are you into Pikachu? Has no idea what I'm talking about. Exactly. Exactly. Has your mom taken you to the Playboy Mansion? Yeah, exactly.
Actually, yes.
Okay.
Oh, Heather! Oh, tea time with Heather. Tea time.
Exactly. I'm shocked and also a little disappointed that we didn't get the invitation. I
know.
All right. So Pokemon Detective Pikachu takes you behind the scenes. Did you like it, love it, hate it?
I love Pikachu's personality.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so shocking. It reminds me of kind of like Ted also.
Yeah.
Right.
The Ryan Reynolds part of it is awesome. I love it.
This movie, you're right. This movie works because of Ryan Reynolds. Wouldn't work any other way. And the fact that people still like Pokemon, right?
Right, yeah.
No one likes Pokemon more than Maria Gloria. She sat down with Ryan Reynolds. Take a look.
What was your favorite part of making this film?
My favorite part was, I love motion capture work, so like,
I think one of the most interesting things that happened was they putting my face into Pikachu.
Yeah.
Which, 5 years ago is kind of a cool technology, but now it's like so sophisticated that they're getting micro facial expressions. So for me, the first time I saw it fully mapped onto Pikachu was actually disturbing because it felt like my soul had been kind of pulled out of my body and shoved into this little tiny yellow guy. It was super weird, and then I slowly kind of got over it. But my daughter, too, just thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
Oh, yeah.
She just saw her dad in this little
dad.
guy. Yeah, it was really, really wild.
Yeah, my daughter, when she first started, she was like, "Mommy, that's not Pikachu, that's Deadpool." And I was like,
okay.
Honestly, like...
How does she know who Deadpool is?
Because she's my daughter.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Great.
I'm doing a great job as a mom.
Awesing.
Yeah.
You are. I
Best
love
mom
that.
award.
Is it just me, or was she trying to be super chill but completely nervous because she was hanging out with Ryan Reynolds?
She was super nervous.
So this is more chatty than usual in that
Yeah.
one. I loved him in this movie, and nice work there, Maria Gloria. I say rent this movie because your kids, you want to have something for them to listen to since they've got their headphones on and might as well detect the Pokemon, right?
Yes.
Yep. All right, is this something you're going to rent or own?
We'll own it. We love Pokemon, so we'll own it.
Fantastic. What do you think?
Hey, this movie is probably about like 15 years too late. You know what I mean? Because Pokemon and this stuff is just huge. So we're definitely going to rent this.
Agreed.
Hey, I'm going to own it. I got a 3-year-old nephew, and so when he turns 5, we're going to watch some Pokemon together.
We are not leaving this table until someone does their impression of Pikachu.
Pika, Pika!
All right, it's like dueling banjos, Pikachu style. Give me some Pikachu.
Pika, Pika.
Pika!
Pika, Pika.
Yeah. Pika, Pika, Pika.
I'll do mine. Here goes mine. I'm sorry, I only do SpongeBob. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Where do we find you?
E. Clark Comedy on Instagram.
There you
Clark
go.
Comedy.
Heather Brent.
Heather_Brent.
Boom.
At Big Al Sam's on everything.
I'm at TV Marquez Out on Instagram, but by all means, go to our YouTube page and
like
and
subscribe.
Thanks for hanging out. Have a good weekend, you guys.
All right.
There you go. Popcorn. Get you some butter.